Good day, everyone. Seth from Timeless Instruments here, and today we are going to walk you step by step through how to install an Abalam Rosette. And as this fades in, you can see it's blue power and a 63 thousandths of an inch wide. Beautiful way to highlight your guitar. Let's get started. Okay, so here we go. Before we get to the actual installation, a little bit of preparation work needs to be done. The rosette has been inlaid already, as you can see, and in the place where we're going to be putting our curved strips, we have a Teflon strip that is also available for purchase, and this strip can be used over and over as long as it doesn't get marred or anything, and it is the same width as what the curved strips are. So right now we've laid our neck pattern out, and we're marking just the edges of the fingerboard. This way we know where the rosette is going to be visible, and we have lines on the top that indicate we can just put our strip just past that line, and then we won't have to waste material by putting shell where there isn't anything visible, and we put it just past that line to make sure that if the top expands or things contract with humidity changes, we're not going to have loose ends popping out that need to get somehow put back in when the guitar is finished. The next step is to remove that Teflon strip that's been in there, and we're using an X-Acto knife, but you can use any small pointed instrument that can just lift an end up. Once you have that end lifted, you just need to run your finger around underneath so you can gently remove to make sure that we don't damage the purflings on either side. And it should lift out nice and easy because it won't have adhered to the glue, which is why we're using Teflon. And this strip can actually be used again. If there is any residue on it, it can be cleaned off, and you could use this strip over and over in multiple instruments. There you can see that we have a nice clean channel. Now you want to take a caliper and you want to go around and make sure that you have the channel depth that you want, as the Abalam strip is built in layers, and the top layer, which is your surface layer, is the nicest figure, and it's only about 6/1000ths of an inch thick. And so if you set that in and it's proud, then it's going to sand away when you level your rosette off, which we don't want. So we're checking in multiple different spots to see if we are at the depth that we want. You're going to want to use that caliper to measure both the thickness of your strips as well as the depth of your channel. We'll show you what to do if there are any spots where perhaps glue has seeped in from your purfling, or if you're just not deep enough in that spot. Then you can take a narrow chisel like we have here, and you can use it to scrape away at that area, and you can work really localized and work really careful. You want to go through and make sure that you're right on there. We look to be within about 2/1000ths of an inch, and that leaves us a lot of material should we need to do any leveling of the rosette. That'll give us lots to keep that face surface so we don't sand through, because you don't know what it's going to look like underneath. So now, once that channel's clear, we're ready for installation, and I'm going to turn you over to David, and he is going to show you how easy and simple it is to put these strips in.
This, and it fits down in there. It goes down actually quite nice. The tool we're going to use is this plexiglass tool. You could use the round bottom of a spoon if you don't have it. The nice thing about this is you can actually see through it what you're doing. It's got a point on this end so you can flip it over or have it like this and really press in a concentrated area as opposed to a big wide flat. So we're going to come like this and just put it like that, put it into the groove, and you can hear it snapping into place, right? So you got to be careful because sometimes we'll get little chips off the top, but is that pretty flush for you?
No, it's not bad at all.
Okay, so then I'm going to just clean some of the excess glue off of this. So I got this little bit of crazy glue here, and I'm just going to flood it. That's it. So come in there like that. Now I don't want to flood it too much at the end because we want to come with the other piece. Just want to flood it like that. If you want to come in with a little bit of accelerator and just put it like that, you could. You don't need a lot of accelerator. If you use too much accelerator, it tends to pull the glue tight and it all shrinks and crackles. So you slide that in, butt it up nice.
So we're going to put the rest of our pieces in there, and I'll let you just watch. You do want to make sure that you keep everything tight, as these will slip around a little bit. There may be play inside the channel, even with 1/1000th of an inch width. They can move. So you want to make sure you keep everything squished nice and tight. Otherwise, you're going to have spaces to fill in later with tiny little pieces of shell, and that can be tricky. Once you get around, with that third piece, you don't actually need to install all of it. Just press it up tight, break it into place with your tool, and once you're in under the fingerboard about 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch, you can break it off, save that extra piece for later for some other project. Finally, we want to level things off with 120 grit sandpaper on a hard block just to get it all flat, and then you can finish it up with 220 on a hard felt block, and that will make it up to a nice finished surface like you see here. That's everything for the how-to. If you're looking for supplies, we sell all the Abalam you'd need, plus the purflings to go on either side. We sell the plastic pipettes for applying crazy glue or cyanoacrylate. We sell hard felt blocks for sanding as well. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. We're looking to have more, so stay tuned for more how-tos. Thanks, guys. See you later.